Okay, so second video for the night. This one will be focusing on my experiences so far with reclaiming witch camps and the reclaiming tradition itself. So, I suppose I'll explain what reclaiming witchcraft is itself. It's a tradition that was started a very long time ago and mainly draws on a lot of, essentially what the core of reclaiming is the principles of unity, which I will post a link to below. You can find and read through, and it's the basic rules and understandings that is followed within the reclaiming tradition, and it very much borrows from the reclaiming tradition itself, borrows from like witchcraft and fairy traditions, and it is pretty much a tradition that empowers each person to be responsible for their own actions, and to within a community there is a dispersal of power so that everyone is empowered and everyone can sit in power. There is no power over anyone or power from under anyone. It's there to help strengthen every person within the community and to help strengthen the environment around them and save the world, essentially, which is great. And it is very much against anything like it's not against feminism, but it's against anything that discriminates or eliminates any person's rights, abilities, or functions within community, such as the man over female rules. So it very much supports feminism in this and empowering women. Also empowers men. There's pretty much the core of this is a lot of goddess work, and there is a cosmic balance there as well. So it does work with the masculine and feminine, and works with all the divine balance within the world around us. It works with the star goddess and the earth mother and the environment there, and it's very much about empowerment, and that's what I've been finding through working with all this that I've done so far. It was back in Easter this year, back when I went to my first ever witch camp. Before that I'd attended a Path of the Elements ritual work over a weekend, and it was 2 days of work. And Path of the Elements is one of the base core classes that needs to be attended when either you go to your first witch camp or you can do it previously before that, which is what I did. And it essentially goes through the 4 elements. So you go through earth, air, fire and water, and also works through spirit, and then you learn how to cast a circle in reclaiming tradition, call on divine powers. You learn all the basics that you need and are required to pretty much facilitate reclaiming ritual. And then from that, I attended that workshop, and that was run by G'day Palmer Acheron, who is my good friend, as you would know from the US tour video, and Jane Meredith, who is an amazingly fantastic woman who has written several books now, and her latest one is, I think it's Journey of the Dark Goddess is the latest one, and she had one previously before that called Aphrodite's Magic. But I will post a link to both those websites for G'day and for Jane below. And yeah, they facilitated the workshop and it was amazing. And with that, each time a workshop or a path is run, there is 2 teachers. So there's those that it's not just empowered by one, which is fantastic. And then from that, in going to Cloudcatcher Witch Camp, that was the first ever one that's been run in southeast Queensland. The first one run in Australia was Earthsong Witch Camp, which I am really hoping I can get money together to attend, which happens in October, and that happens down in Victoria. But yeah, my first experience with witch camp was going to Cloudcatcher Witch Camp, and that was incredible and amazing. And each witch camp follows a fairy tale or a story over the weekend, or whatever amount of time. For Earthsong, no, not Earthsong, Cloudcatcher, it went over 5 days, I believe. We went the Thursday and came back the Monday. And the story that was followed there was the story of Isis, Anubis, Set, and Nephthys. And it was following the journey to retrieve all the missing pieces of Osiris. And we worked through different ritual work over the whole entire weekend. Each night, it was most of the nights, and there was a day ritual that we went through. And yeah, it was amazing and wonderful. And on the first day that we were there, they the opening ritual, we opened the portals and called in those 4 gods, and they were present over the whole experience, the whole camp. And we were told to bring any items or tokens we might find to place on the altars. So we created our own altar and sacred space, and we had guardians that looked after those, and then you could volunteer to be involved in ritual work. And yeah, and then from that, the witch camp that we had, there was 3 paths to follow. So you had the earth path, the elements path, which was the base path. The second path was the serpent path, which was the inner path. So that's the path about inner reflection, empowerment, and embodiment. So earth path was, oh no, I keep calling it earth path. The elements path was was run by Paul and Fiona. Paul being I'm trying to remember where he's from, an American overseas, somewhere in America, and he's been to several witch camps. And Fiona is one of the people who helps run Earthsong in Victoria here. And then I attended the Serpent's Path, which was run by Jane Meredith and Karen, who is a Sydney Sider witch, and she's amazing. Much love to Karen. And then we had the third path was the outer path, the path of empowerment, awakenedness. There was a lot of words in there, but that was run by G'day Palmer Acheron and by Madrone Jack, who is one of the organisers of California Witch Camp, which I'm going to in, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks. Very, very soon. But yeah. So yeah, we spent the whole weekend, a majority of the day was devoted to attending Path. So you went, and first thing you did, in morning, it was communal breakfast, so everyone had breakfast together. And then from that, we went into our path workings, and how you knew about what path you wanted to take was the first night we were there, the presenters for each path got up and spoke about their path, and whatever one drew you was the one that you were looking at. And then what you were given was the night to sleep, rest, and in the morning you were given a quick reminder of what the paths were, and you were just drawn to whatever path you were wanted to take. And if it's your first ever witch camp, you're often encouraged to take the elements path, even for someone like myself who's done elements for so many years now. Doing that path again before before witch camp was amazing. And yeah, and then obviously I picked the serpent's path, and we did a lot of embodiment. We did shape-shifting transformation work. We learnt to create sacred space with our eyes open. So instead of a lot of visualization, it was creating the space around you and being able to physically visualize that there. And it was amazing and incredible. And Karen and Jane did an amazing job with that. We learnt, I really enjoyed doing all the chakra work, and we learnt to do ocular vision. So we worked on drawing the Kundalini snake up into our third eye, and used the third eye to do readings and prophecy talk with that, and utterly amazing. And then, what else do we have? Yeah, so many different things that we did during that time, like shape-shifting, where we became snakes and we went out into the grass and into the sun and did snaky things. And as another thing, as part of Witch Camp itself, you have a thing called affinity groups. And I really love the affinity groups. So what happens is that the way that we did it was that, I believe it was Fiona prepared a platter that had sticks, leaves, rocks, all sorts of, like, those groupings of all sorts of things. And one by one we went up and we picked whatever one. And we found out that by picking whatever piece we had, that then put us in that affinity group. And you got to meet different people from different paths. And in our group we had a perfect split, so we had 2 from each path, so we had a group of 6, and also different ranges of experience, which is amazing. So we had people that was their first ever experience with witchcraft, and we had people that had been training and teaching and had done workshops before, and it was a perfect divide between all of it, and utterly amazing. And the affinity groups was good because it's kind of like, with each path working in the morning, you have a check-in about previous day and all that sort of stuff, and also ritual work. And then with affinity groups, it was kind of, you had a check-in for that stuff as well, and got to share what you were going through, and you got to form new relationships, new friendships, and build all these bonds, which was fantastic. And yeah, Affinity Groups was utterly amazing, and I'm looking forward to doing all that stuff in California. And because of all of this, I am now an organizer on the committee for the Cloudcatcher Witch Camp 2013 in Queensland. We're doing it at the same site. I'm hoping for the same site, I think. Pretty sure. But yeah, it was amazing. At one point we had clouds passing through camp. Like, it was up in the Springbrook Mountains, and yeah, for a camp called Cloudcatcher, had to have clouds actually pass through camp. It was incredible. And yeah, so I'm the outreach member, so you'll probably see me plague you guys with videos and information about updates, encouraging people, yeah, from overseas to come and explore it and experience it. And it'd be perfect if you want to come meet me, and you can't meet me on my tour, come to Australia and meet me, and I will look after you and give you a tour around Brisbane and give you magics and wildwood craziness and all the awesome that I can. And yeah, I'm looking at getting more involved in reclaiming, and I'll be attending 2 reclaiming events while I'm in the US and staying with, I think, a few people that are reclaiming teachers themselves, so I get to experience that. And yeah, it's a whole new facet to my path that I'm exploring right now, and really enjoying it. We're doing work through 12 Wild Swans as part of our group connection with the organising committee for Cloudcatcher Witch Camp, and we're focusing on just going through whatever path we're drawn to, we're working through that, and then we're following the core story of that, where Rose is the main character, and what happens is her mother, when Rose wasn't born yet, her mother makes a wish one day that she would give up her 12 sons to have one daughter, and yeah, just someone hears it, grants her wish, and when her daughter's born, all her 12 sons get turned into wild swans. And then what happens is, when Rose gets to an age where she starts to question and ask more, she gets told by, I believe, her nanny, and gets sent out on this journey. She leaves her castle and seeks out her brothers. She doesn't know what she's doing quite yet, or how she's going to get them back, but she goes out and does it, and is responsible for her actions. And we're slowly working through that over the next 8 months, I think. We finished chapter 1, which is leaving the castle, and I'm like excited and scared about it, because all this tour trip is really going to be about me leaving my castle and me moving from the space where I am right now, where I'm comfortable in my room, in my den, essentially, my castle, and leaving behind a lot of habits and images of myself that I don't want to project anymore, that I want to leave behind and shed, so that I can move through and become a better person, a better me, and take the challenge and step up and take it and walk in those shoes or dance or whatever I decide to do. And yeah, focusing on that, this work is going to be amazing and incredible, and it's already bringing us together as a group, and I'm just excited about it. And that's really, yeah, I recommend you guys go check out Reclaiming Traditions, go check out the Principles of Unity, and if you can, go attend a witch camp. I know there's several that run in the US that totally go along to. California Witch Camp is probably one of the ones that I would totally recommend. I haven't been yet, but I'm being excited. I've been posting stuff online, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, check out all that stuff. I will post links to also Cloudcatcher Witch Camp and Earthsong Witch Camp below, and yeah, lots of details to check out. But till I am in the US, much love and blessings, and blessed be everyone, and have a very wonderful time. Bye.